Hey there, this is Matt Robeson and I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Today I'm going to do a little tutorial for Introduction to Music Production through Coursera.org. What I'm going to discuss today is the Amplitude envelope on a synthesizer. In this case, I'm using the analog synth from Ableton Live. We're going to be discussing this right here, which is the graphical representation of the Amplitude envelope, otherwise known as the ADSR envelope. The ADSR stand for attack time, decay time, sustain level, and the release time. I'm going to try to go through these fairly quickly because I've done a couple of takes on this and I keep going way too long. So, the attack time, which is this phase, it is the time taken for the initial run-up of level from 0 to peak, beginning when the key is first pressed. After that, the decay time comes, and that is the time taken for the subsequent rundown from the attack level to the designated sustain level. The sustain level is here, this section. This is the level during the main sequence of the sound's duration until the key is released. The release time is this section at the end, which is the time taken for the level to decay from the sustain level to 0 after the key is released. Now, to sort of illustrate some of this, I'm going to go through some configurations and how you might use them musically. First, we're going to cover the switch configuration, which is useful for emulating like an organ type sound. Something where you hit the note and it stays on as long as you hold the note, and as soon as you let go, it goes away. So what we'll do for this is we're going to set the attack time to as close to 0 as possible. The synthesizer will not allow the attack or the release to go below 5 milliseconds, which is actually useful because if you had it at 0, you might have a little click at the beginning or end of your sound. The decay we will turn all the way down, sustain all the way up, and the release all the way down. So now if I hit this note, basically it's a switch, it's on and off. I'm going to hit it and let go. You see, it's on and off. If I hold it down, it stays on. So there you go, that's a switch configuration. Next we're going to talk about a percussive configuration. This is more like for plucked or hit instruments, so like a stringed instrument or maybe a percussive element. Energy happens with the first hit and decays relatively quickly and naturally. So we're going to put the, we'll keep the attack there. Decay I'm going to bring up to around 108 milliseconds is fine. Sustain drops to 0. And the release, 0. So now, even if I hold the note down, it stops immediately because basically all we have is attack and decay at this time. The note is going to the peak and dropping down as quickly as you set your decay. I'll make it a little bit longer. And if I hold the note, it takes a little longer to go away, but it's still fairly percussive. Relatedly, we can do a damped percussive configuration. Very similar to what we've already done, but we can release, we'll add a little bit more decay and maybe a little release time. So if I hold the note down, it continues to go as long as that decay and release have been set. But if I let go, it basically goes away fairly quickly. It's like a piano. When you release the key, dampers come up and stop the note when the key is released. Relatedly, what happens if you release the key during the decay phase? Well, the release phase starts from that point, basically. So whatever level the note is at when you let go, it's going to release from there. Okay? Now we're going to cover a sustaining configuration, which is good for blown or bowed instruments like a horn or a violin. We'll leave the attack low. The decay we'll put around 108 is fine. Sustain, we will put it, somewhere between mid to high, and release will set around 900 of seconds. That's fine. All right, so basically I'm hitting the notes and letting go, and you see they're taking longer to go away. It's because we've increased that release time. If I hold the note down, they will stay going as long as I hold that note down. So it is more like a violin or a horn or something. If you want it a little punchier, you can lessen the decay time. This is good for instruments that can build energy over time, essentially. Finally, we're going to go through one called, Loudon calls the quirk configuration. Musically, I'm not exactly sure how you'd want to use it, but it's kind of an interesting little quandary. Makes sense if you understand what's happening with the envelope. We'll keep the attack really low. Decay we'll kind of put shortish. Sustain 0. And the release I'm going to set around 1 second. Somewhere in there. All right, so basically what will happen, I'm going to hit a note and I'm going to hold it down. See, I'm holding that note down and it's just stopping immediately. But here's what will happen if I hit a short note where I just hit it and let go quickly. I need to increase my decay a little bit, sorry. See, I'm hitting that note and letting go immediately, and it is basically releasing from that point on. So it actually makes some sense, even though it sounds a bit counterintuitive. So those are a few configurations and a little discussion of the amplitude envelope in the analog synth, or really it's applicable to most synthesizers. Hopefully it was fairly clear and it helped you out some. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.